Oh, hello everybody. My name is Chihuri. I'm from FJSS Group, which is based in West Calder. Today we are here at Armadale Academy in Armadale. We are doing a special Black History Month program with West Lothian High Schools. I was talking to the pupils and their staff about the Black history of West Lothian as part of how we can celebrate the Black history of the area and those people who contributed a lot in developing this place.
And they're going to be talking about the importance of Black history and in relation to West Lothian. And I obviously, create informative presentation and be able to maybe ask some questions at the end, okay? But obviously I know we'll give them a warm welcome to Armadale Academy and be listening with respect. So thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for allowing us this opportunity to come and speak about the Black History Month. I'm going to introduce my husband. Myself, I work in the health sector. I'm a nurse, but I think I face a lot of inequalities, racial discrimination. That's why I'm also supporting his work. He's very passionate about what he's doing. Have a little bit of equality and justice, not just in the justice sector, but all across the board. So that's why he's also involved in this Black History Month. So I'll give the floor to him because we've already taken much of your time. So over to you, Silence.
That's me in high school. I just wanted to know that I've also been to high school. So I know your pain. When your teachers want you to do your homework and they are coming after you. I mean, I've been through it. Doing this, I've been CEO of my organization for 12 years. But I had to go through my high school to get to that. So yeah, let's get to a little bit about the organization, which is called FJSS Group. The organization I started 12 years ago. We call it grassroots modeled because we do a lot of programs that are connected with the community, because for us that's very important. We engage with the system, we work with institutions, the government, the local councils. These are some of the organizations we work with. The government, you can see they are there. The police, I'm sure sometimes police officers come to talk to you guys about how you can behave yourselves. In terms of the legal profession, these are some of the organizations that we work with, because our organization, me being from the legal background, we do a lot of work in the legal space. The Law Society are there, the Faculty of Advocates are there. These are some of Scotland's biggest law firms. So in terms of the history, what we've done, we've looked at four main areas. There are two individuals that we are focusing on, and then two areas of the history of West Lothian that we are focusing on. One of them is the West Lothian Connection, the book that we wrote, and you see some of the interesting facts that come out as part of that research. And then we are looking at this issue of Windrush and some of the people connected to that Windrush scandal, as some of you might have heard. Those are the two individuals we are going to talk about. We have this guy called Peter McLagan and Sir Jeff Palmer, then Windrush Personalities and the West Lothian Connection. Peter McLagan, he was the first black MP for West Lothian a long time ago. He was born in 1823 and he died in 1900. You see that there are very few black people that you come across. It's all about white people, but we are saying there are also a lot of black people who have done some tremendous things, and this guy is one of them. During the time of Peter McLagan, West Lothian was not known as West Lothian. It was called Linlithgoshire. So he was the MP for this whole area. There's another guy there called Sir Jeff Palmer. Sir Jeff is still alive. He's 83 years old. He came from Jamaica in 1955. His early adult life, he moved to Scotland, where he continued with his high school education. He went to Edinburgh University, then Heriot-Watt University, where he became a professional and an expert scientist in the area of brewing and manufacturing of beer. If you think of all these beer companies that you know, Tennent's, Guinness, Bulldog Pubs, all these companies, most of the owners of those companies were taught by Sir Jeff. They were his students. So he's well respected. This is why in 2014, Sir Jeff was given what is called a knighthood by the Queen. This is whereby you go to Buckingham Palace, the Queen used to put something on your shoulders, saying some words, then you become what is called a knight. And you start to be addressed by that prefix, Sir. That's why it's called Sir Jeff. And then in 2021, he was appointed as the first black chancellor of a Scottish university. So he's currently the chancellor of Herod University. That has never been done. Even throughout the UK, I've never heard of a black person who is a chancellor of a university. So that tells you some of the achievements for Sir Jeff. In November 2022, Edinburgh City Council, they said we need to recognize what Sir Jeff has done. So they gave him the highest honor that Edinburgh Council can give on any individual, and they gave him what is called the Edinburgh Award. In terms of Windrush, we thought it was important for us to talk about Windrush. I know some of you will be asking, why are we talking about Windrush? The word Windrush, it came from this big ship here. It was called HMS Empire Windrush. So in the 1940s, at the end of World War I, there was a lot of destruction in this country, particularly in England. Scotland was not affected that much by the World War, but England, London was bombed. I'm sure some of you would have heard about that. There was a lot of destruction, so there was a lot of reconstruction that needed to be done. But a lot of people had died during the war from the bombs. Others had gone to war. I think you see every small town there is a memorial which says we are recognizing those who died during the war, because every place in the UK, even here in Scotland, they sent people away who went to join the war. So they had to invite people from outside the UK, and a lot of people came from the Caribbean, particularly countries like Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Antigua and Barbados. This is where Sir Jeff's mother came from. So when he came in 1955, he was actually following his mother who had come. And these people, they did a lot of work to build the health service, for example. The NHS was started in 1948 using nurses and doctors that came from the Caribbean. So this is why we are talking about Windrush. In December last year, King Charles, he said, a lot has happened which is not good to these people. So we need to do something just to try and make them feel better. So he selected 10 people from that generation of Windrush, and Sir Jeff was one of them. And they had their special portraits done, and they are now on display at Buckingham Palace. And they had this wonderful photograph there with the Queen and the King. And those portraits are displayed at Buckingham Palace and at Holyrood Palace here in Scotland. The 5 biggest slave owners were from this area of West Lothian, the whole of the UK. The 5 biggest slave owners, slave traders, they were from this place. That guy called John Newland, he was from Bathgate. He went to Jamaica. He made a lot of money selling sugar that he grew on his plantations. And when he came back, he said, I want to do something good. He gave some money and he said, can we start a high school? That's how Armadale Academy was started. But if you go today, they moved the school from the old site. It's now in a new building because they didn't want the association between the school and the history of, but that's not good enough. You can't clean up the history, the connection is still there. So this is why we are trying to make sure everybody is aware of these things. I've got my nice t-shirts from FJSS. I've got small size for those of you who are small, and large size and extra large. So I'll ask you maybe 2 questions. Anyone who answers them correct, they'll win a t-shirt. Can you give me one organization that we work with and you win a t-shirt? Yes, I would like some girls to answer, please. I hope you are going to find what we have shared today useful, not just today, but for a long time in your lives. Because some of these things, you remember these things one day, you say, oh, maybe this is what he was talking about. So hopefully you found this useful. Yeah, so give yourselves a good round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you.